Nowadays, it feels like every founder is building in public and showing you what it really takes to build a company. Okay, are we good?
No, the lights are in it. We have to do another
You can
take.
see the lights? Well, you're not supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, it feels like every founder is building in public, showing you what it really takes to build a company. The messy, the not so messy, so forth and so on. Okay, I'm obviously playing. But building in public has become super popular because guess what? Business owners, smart business owners like you and myself have realized that, hey, social media is an extremely powerful tool for business. So now if I ask you to name a founder who's building their company publicly, I am sure that you can think of a few. And everybody's talking about these founders, but not a lot of people are talking about what makes them actually stand out. So welcome to your Founder Archetype Masterclass. In this YouTube video, we'll cover the 5 main archetypes of founders that are building their companies publicly. And with every archetype we cover, you'll get to discover exactly what archetype you are and how you can lean into it to make your business even more successful. Let's get into it. From now on, let's think of founder archetypes as the DNA of your personal brand. It's that exact energy, story, and positioning that makes people trust you, buy from you, and also share your message. Starting off strong, let us start with Ben Francis, who is the founder of Gymshark. Fun fact, I was wearing Gymshark earlier today because I'm a gym girly. I don't know if you can tell by these gains. Gymshark has been around for about 13 years and it is valued at billions, okay? Ben Francis himself is a billionaire as of April 2023, according to some sources. In terms of how he started, this is actually pretty fascinating. He founded Gymshark in 2012 at age 19 while he was still a student. And very true for a lot of founder stories, he was operating from his parents' garage. Couldn't get more cliche than that, but hey, we love it here. He started by screen printing his clothing and selling directly on his website. Now, how did his business grow, you may ask? First, the origin story of Gymshark is a very authentic one. Ben Francis was obviously extremely familiar with the products that he was producing. And how he got to distributing those products is through influencers and ambassadors. He ran very successful influencer marketing campaigns. He recruited influencers, brand ambassadors for his brand that would have a discount code, like an affiliate code for their audience, for 20%, 10%, whatever it is. In turn, they would get payment or just free clothes, either one, maybe a combination of both. And as Gymshark grew, the brand, so did the influencers, and they've already been loyal to Gymshark from day one. So the likelihood of them switching over to another clothing company, like for example, Founder Active, I'm not sure when that one came about, but I know it's a big one right now, are low. They've already established loyalty. Gymshark is already part of their business, and that's how a lot of, fun fact, fitness influencers operate, coming from an influencer herself. That's why if you ever see a code in their bio of like, use my code Hailey for 10% off of Owner Active, typically they have some sort of deal with Owner Active, and oftentimes there's exclusivity. So if you're a Gymshark athlete, you can also be an owner athlete like that. You're exclusive to one category, depending on your size and what kind of deal they have struck up. And as a founder, a lesson you can take away from Ben Francis is starting authentically. If you're beginner stages, start with a business that you actually know a lot about. Like, start with that industry. Why do you think I run a marketing content agency? Because I've been creating content for most of my life. No, like literally most of my life, more than half. And lesson 2 here is when getting influencers to promote your brand and your business, which influencer marketing has crazy returns on investment, and it is the new way to promote your company. That's honestly been around for quite some time, but I feel like especially right now, I'm glad that it's popping off because the creator economy is projected to reach $500 billion, $500 billion by 2030, and it's currently at 250 right now. So the growth is just like this. Work with people that are a direct representation of your brand and that stand for everything that you want your brand to stand. You don't have to go after flashy names to promote your business. You should focus on smaller creators, but ones that deeply align with your brand and your product or whatever it is that you're promoting would make sense for their community. That's what Ben Francis did, and look at him now. So what kind of founder archetype does he fall into? Definitely the community builder. He's relatable, he's grounded, and he makes his audience feel seen and included. Secondly, let's talk about one of my favorite founders recently, Grace Beverley. I actually watched her talk during the ManyChat live conference. I went to the ManyChat summit in person, ManyChat Instagram summit, but I also watched it live, and she was talking about how she manages to juggle everything because this woman, how many companies does she run? A lot. I actually think it's more than 3, but the ones that she's most well known for are Tala, which is a clothing brand made of sustainable materials, activewear, I believe, don't quote me on that, and 2, Shreddy, which is a supplement company. In terms of public numbers, there's not a whole lot of information. However, they have both of those brands, Tala and Shreddy, have raised venture funding and are described as multi-million pound businesses. I was going to say dollar, but UK is different, pounds. And her net worth estimate is also around several million pounds, but we just have no way of checking that unless she makes a video like, hey guys, this is my net worth. But I doubt that she'll be doing that anytime soon. Fun fact of how she actually started as Grace Fit UK. She was sharing this story in the Mini Chat Summit, and she had a YouTube channel. She was just like a fitness influencer, okay? And her entrepreneurship journey started, I think she was also studying at Oxford at this time, which is extremely impressive. But her entrepreneurship journey started when she started selling like workout program ebooks, so like PDFs and workout programs in general. I think she said she had her friend who's a graphic designer or wanted to be one just create those, and then she started selling them to her audience, and that started taking off, and eventually that evolved into Tala, which is the sustainable materials workout company. Let's talk about Tala and why that worked. Grace is a fitness influencer. Once again, we have an authentic fit. She's been going to the gym, she knows what she wants in workout clothes, and she's also been always publicly passionate about sustainability and using high quality materials, which is exactly what Tala represents. And also, something I do want to say, Tala visually is just absolutely stunning. It is such an aesthetic brand, and I know that Grace has a content team working on her content. I think she has like a social media girl or something. She has mentioned that before. But if you just compare the aesthetic of Tala to the aesthetic of Grace Beverley's personal visual brand, they are just so cohesive. It's like drinking a hot cocoa at night. Like, it makes me feel warm and cozy on the inside. I love it. It's so good. Now, in terms of Grace's founder archetype, she's also definitely a community builder. Hello. Any founder who started as an influencer knows how to build a community, but she's also an aesthetic leader. Aesthetic leader, a good example is somebody like Hailey Bieber, who turns her lifestyle into a lifestyle brand. Because even if you look at the recent launch video of Grace Beverley, the one about Shreddy, she talks about her PCOS journey and how she went on this like journey to discover what works best for her body, and she determines it's these supplements, but she didn't want to have to take 8 pills every single morning and evening, so she created, I think it's called the Superwoman supplement by Shreddy. What an insane storytelling arc that gets you relating to Grace and be like, oh my gosh, I have PCOS too, or I also struggle with my hormones, I also don't know what's going on. And then it gets you sold on the product through her storytelling arc. That is a great example of an aesthetic leader. Which brings me to Miss Hailey Bieber, founder of Rhode. Rhode was acquired by Elf Beauty for a deal up to 1 billion, somewhere around there, which is insane. Just mind-blowingly insane. For context, Hailey Bieber, she started as a ballerina, okay, not professionally, although she might have been doing that, but I just know she's a ballerina. She got into modeling, and through that, she became kind of like this culture pop icon influencer, and since then has started Rhode, which is absolutely iconic. I cannot, like, I gush over Rhode because their marketing is just spectacular. Rhode was launched in 2022, and their main strategy for growing was using Hailey Bieber as the face of the brand because she already had a huge platform with millions of followers, and they also executed on their influencer strategy extremely well. Hello, Ben Francis. You and Hailey are like this. Why did Rhode work so well? First of all, Hailey Bieber already had a huge built-in audience that just like was so inspired by her life and her lifestyle and her aesthetic, because she's the kind of influencer who's mysterious. Like that's why honestly, she's not an influencer, she's definitely a celebrity. And the difference between the two, fun fact, is you're an influencer if people learn about what's happening in your life through you talking about it. And by people, I mean like large audiences of hundreds of millions of thousands of followers, okay? Not like your family, because if your sister's like, here's what Vera's been about, does not make you a celebrity. Sorry. Influencers, they typically share updates with their audience and their community feels connected because it feels like their friend. However, with celebrities, you find out updates about their life that are honestly the most basic ones. Like with celebrities, nobody ever cares, oh my God, is she building $1 billion company? Like, oh my gosh, is she working all day, every day? No. What do people care about for celebrities? Who they're dating, sleeping with, what they're wearing, have they gained weight, have they lost weight? Obviously, the culture around that has changed because people are more in their right minds now, but look at 2000s press. Like, it really is crazy, but it's mostly about their dating lives and like what's happening, what drama are they in, what feuds are they in. And that's because for celebrities, the net is way wider. Their goal is not to build a very strong niche community. It is to just acquire everyone and get everybody talking and interested in them. And for celebrities, you find out about their life through press, through people talking about them, influencers talking about them. Some influencers really do act as press because they share like current events and gossip and what's happening. So that is the biggest difference, which I find to be super cool. 2, Rhode also had a very clear aesthetic that definitely aligned with the younger millennial audience and Gen Z. I like to think of Rhode as the next thing after Glossier, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say Glossier. Because Glossier also had like a very clean sort of aesthetic, but they definitely were for millennials, and since then they have fallen off hard. I really want to read the book about the founder and like that story, but I know some of it. And Rhode was really like the next best thing. And they also had a very smart distribution strategy that revolved all around drops. Like they did iconic collabs like with Tate McRae, and right now obviously she's huge, and she was huge back then too when they collabed with her, but this girl has doubled in terms of like fame and success. I feel like she doubles every year. She just grows exponentially. So it is very smart of them to do so. Let's go to the slightly other end of the founder archetype spectrum and talk about one of my favorites, Alex Hormozi. Honestly, all the founders in this video are huge inspirations to me, but especially Alex Hormozi. In terms of the founder archetype, it's debatable whether he's a visionary or like an operator expert. I would definitely have to lean, in my humble, arrogant opinion, into operator expert, because his whole shtick is like, hey guys, I'm not a content guy, but I have a high pain tolerance and I know that I need to make content to grow my business. So here we are again. Like that's the most expert thing to say ever. I feel like all that man cares about is just growing his business and really working in it. And I also love Hailey Hormozi, and I listen to her podcast more actually, because I feel like the stuff that she says is more applicable to me and where I'm at right now. Because it's a lot about people management, and as the chief everything officer, what else do you do? And she separates founders into, or just business owners, into makers and managers, which manager, like most of your workday is just managing people. Maker, builder, you're like building stuff and editing videos or writing books or whatever it is. And she consistently says that Alex Hormozi, for most of it, is a builder. So he's an operator visionary for sure. Now, in terms of public numbers, acquisition.com, which is his business, states that its portfolio grew to over $250 million in annual revenue across portfolio companies. And I do believe it, because his book launch alone hit $100 million, which is insane. In terms of how Mr. Alex Hormozi started, he first owned gyms. He built them, got them successful. And then he started Gym Launch, which was a consulting and a marketing service with high ticket offers about talking to other business owners who have gyms about how to scale them. Very niche, awesome. And after some other ventures, he got into the business and private equity acquisition niche, which is funny because he originally quit his job, I believe, in private equity. No, he does the same thing, but on his own terms. Acquisition.com's marketing is just absolutely insane. The $100 million book launch definitely proves it. Why it works is because Alex is so transparent about strategy and numbers, and he just like really just lays it all out there for you. All you can do is trust him as the expert, as the operator. And all he does is give frameworks all day, every day. No fluff, no water, just if you want to get here, do this. And I also particularly love their little showcase series about how they sit down with founders who have certain bottlenecks in their business or problems or whatever, and they figure it out together live. Makes you trust them so much more. And if you take away anything from Alex, use content to teach and educate your audience and to funnel. Most of his content is top of the funnel, which funnels down to his ideal client avatars. And second takeaway is that authority, real authority, comes from your results and your transparency. So shout him out from the rooftops. Now let's talk about the visionary founder archetype. That is somebody who is very purpose-driven and a bold thinker that inspires a whole movement behind their brand. It just feels like they're on a mission, and like that's all they talk about and all they think about. And the most vivid example of a visionary type of founder that I can think of is definitely Elon Musk, especially if you take him back to his early days of Tesla. Because long story short, Tesla had a ton of challenges throughout its career. And now obviously it's like extremely profitable and it's just absolutely killing it. But when it was first starting, there were a lot of bumps on the road. And from what I've read, not only did Elon Musk build such a strong company culture to allow the company to grow, thrive, and succeed when he had his employees make those calls to get pre-orders on the Tesla so they would actually have enough money to continue operating instead of firing everybody. But Tesla also had a cult-like following with a mission of sustainability, of making the world healthier, okay, and having less waste in it, which was definitely very, very, very purpose-driven. And to wrap it up, let's talk about the creator founder archetype. And this is one of my favorites, Miss Emma Chamberlain, founder of Chamberlain Coffee. So some industry reports, if we're talking about numbers, they cite that the brand is generating around $22 million in revenue as of 2024. However, that remains uncertain. Emma Chamberlain alone is generating, I believe, more than that, according to the Forbes creator list that came out. In terms of how Emma Chamberlain started, and this is very special to me because I've been watching her since day one, she built a very loyal community and following on her YouTube channel. She's a fashion icon, okay? By making these very relatable, aesthetic, but just very real vlogs of like her burping on camera or being like, guys, like I pulled another all-nighter, and she was going to school at the time, and then she moved to LA to grow her influencer career, and just was very honest from the get-go, like when she was depressed, when she was not, and she would film these uncomfortable moments that a lot of people cut out typically. Like you don't see those lights right now, but that's something I feel like she would film. Just very real, and that's why people loved watching her and following her. And since then, her content has evolved. She has a podcast now, but a core theme of her content has always been the fact that she's like chronically tired and she loves coffee. Like that woman would drink mason jars of coffee, multiple ones. And she's very particular about her coffee. She's not like an iced vanilla latte girl. That's me. That's not her. So why Chamberlain coffee works so well, and by the way, I love the brand. I used to absolutely love their matcha. It is so good. And their coffee beans, I gotta try again. But why it worked so well is because there was just such tight alignment between Emma Chamberlain, what she stood for, her lifestyle, but also the product itself. Everything was cohesive, and especially now. If you look at her, for example, recent Met Gala looks or just her fashion looks in general, and you look at the creative direction of the Chamberlain coffee brand, it is very cohesive and very on brand. Like, it's definitely become more out of the box, which I definitely appreciate, because I feel like for brands, oftentimes you just see them playing it safe and kind of staying in their little box. But for Emma, she's not afraid to go out there, and that is awesome. And what makes her a creator archetype specifically is that creator founders are storytellers who can authentically connect with their community and audience, thus funneling them to be customers of the brand. Final disclaimer, I do believe every founder has like a little cocktail of these archetypes, and you're not just one. Like, you're a mix of everything, and it's all about finding what kind of cocktail are you. Because that cocktail is the exact positioning of your personal brand. And positioning of your brand is absolutely everything. It's what sets apart true winners in business versus losers. Sorry to say. Now let's have a self-discovery moment. Let's figure out which archetype you are. And if you get to this point in the video, then comment which one you are, because I would absolutely love to hear your answers. So, if you like to dream big and lead movements, you're definitely a visionary. In terms of characterization, you're the kind of person who, like, if I start talking to you about details, you like it doesn't quite catch on. You're like, I want to write a book. I want to start a Netflix show. Like, I envision this. Let's get all the celebrities in on this campaign. Visionary. Now, do you want to teach and just master your craft? Expert operator. Are you finding yourself at networking events or like business founder parties just explaining frameworks to people and being like, here's how you get from point A to point B. Trust me, bro, you can do this. Expert operator, for sure. Or perhaps you're finding yourself sharing real stories, but also being creative. You love making content. You love thinking outside of the box. Oftentimes what you share is not very direct. It's like more symbolic. It has a little metaphor in there. Then you, my friend, are likely a creator type of founder. Or perhaps you just live and breathe design, and you live for the aesthetics, and all you do every single time when you have a spare second of free time is just scroll endlessly on Pinterest, make mood boards. You love visuals. Then you might be an aesthetic leader, because aesthetics are just so prime to you. Finally, if you find yourself building communities or just have been throughout your life, like if you're in school, you were doing clubs, if you're in college, you're leading sororities and being president of fraternities, whatever that may be, perhaps you, my friend, are a community builder at heart. A personal tip from me, who does personal branding all day, every day, is do not try to be all 5 in equal parts. Find your primary and really lean into it. The other ones will fall into place. Now, once you know your founder archetype, the very next step is turning it into content that converts. So if you're ready for some done-for-you organic content, then check out www.vfactorsocial.com/authority-growth-system, AGS. It is our newest offering that we have just launched, and I'm super excited about it, where we take 1 hour of you filming per week, that is it, and turn it into over 90 strategic posts per month. 30 posts, so 1 per day, posted across all the major social media platforms, which makes it to about 90 to 120 posts per month. Talk about volume and high quality. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Nowadays, it feels like every pounder... Nah, cut the shit. What the hell?